these are so long. Oh my fucking god. Okay, I'll do this one. But yeah, cause I love ASMR and I love horror. So I think this is for people like me. And I'm gonna be real up close and personal, not because it serves a purpose, because I'm lazy. I don't wanna sit anymore. I wanna lay down. So this is what you're gonna get. Also, I think I'll look kind of pretty like this. Anyways, I watched Obsession in the movie theaters today, and it was so good. Oh my god! I think all of you should watch it, and I think the actress of Nikki was so good. But anyways, okay, on to the stories. Mortician for 36 years. I made a post on Reddit yesterday, and I was told to post my story here on this forum and another forum. So here it goes, I guess. I've been a mortician for 36 years. I really hope this isn't actually like someone had posted and then the people were like, this is so terrifying, go post on r/nosleep, because that's awful. That's bad. Okay, I have been a mortician for 36 years. I have embalmed over 12,000 bodies. Do English people say like 1,200? No, because that's 12,000. It would be 2,000, 2,400 something. Okay, but yeah, that's 12,000 bodies. During my career, I have had two extremely significant events which has changed everything. How I used to believe about death and afterlife and the afterlife. I am a Christian, but the two events in my career has made me question everything. I'm sorry, I'm getting out of breath because of this. My laptop is pressing on my something. Anyways. Okay, I have never shared these two stories because I do not know how people will take it. Anyways, I have always wanted to get it off my chest. Now with the internet, I can do it. It is going to feel good to hit submit and let it all out. Here is my first incident. It was approximately 2 a.m. and I just finished embalming. I had approximately 6 bodies, all embalmed on tables with white sheets over them. I had taken off my gown and gloves and walked across the room and opened the door. Right when I was about to turn off the lights, I had a rush of pressure that pushed me from behind. I need to say this push was not a regular push, not a focal point type of push. When it is directed on your middle back or arm, or a push in a small area of my body. This was a type of wall push that touched the back of my ears to the back of my heels and everything in between. I was moved approximately 1 foot before I ran as fast as I could out of the garage door. I jumped into my gray Volkswagen Jetta and drove to my condominium. Jesus, no, wrong line. When I got home, I sat down in my chair and spoke to Jesus. I spoke out loud saying, I do not know how I offended you, or if you are mad at me, but I'm very sorry. I remember looking at my right arm because my skin was tingling. As I was saying this, my hairs on my right arm looked like my skin was pickled. My hairs were standing up straight scares like that before. Okay, that's lucky boring. I'm so sorry if I'm boring you. Well, let's see if the second incident is any scarier. Like, that's kind of creepy, but also like, I feel like you're lying to me. But that's more of a, I feel like this could actually like be someone's actual experience, not just like a story made up for r/nosleep, because I think nosleep has way scarier stories, or like more exaggerated. Here's my second incident. This is a completely new funeral home, and 23 years later from my first story. Wait a second. Okay, let's continue. This was approximately 9 p.m. at night. As an embalmer, we do work at all hours. I was in the prep room and took off my gown and gloves and went down the hallway to grab a bottled water out of the snack room little fridge. I then walked down the hallway back to the prep room. As I was walking down, there is a mirror in front of me down the long hall. Behind me is a glass door with our outside light on, in front of a funeral home. As I was walking toward the mirror, a person walked to the door and turned and stopped. I saw this, but I took a couple of steps further and immediately turned around and screamed. The person was no longer there. It was a spirit who was behind me that I saw in the mirror in front of me. When I screamed, it screamed, and it continued to scream as I ran out of the funeral home. It then continued to scream as I just stood in the parking lot. The scream, it was my scream the whole time. It took my voice and copied it. Thank you everyone for listening. I will answer any questions you have. What do you think was the second entity? Has someone asked this. The OP said I didn't stay to find out. Okay, I think the second one is a lot more creepier of an experience than the first one. I'm not hearing myself. I'm just having my AirPods in. But this one died. I still have one. Okay. That was like low-key kind of creepy, but also like slightly boring. Okay. Two things are calling me, but I don't know which one I'm gonna read. Okay, I might read them both. Okay, the fourth rule. I started working the night shift at an old factory in 2019. The place shut down in 1991. Nobody ever explained why. Some company still owns the land and they pay me to walk the perimeter. I don't remember how you say that word. Check the locks on the gates and sit in the security hut until sunrise. The money is fine. The rules are written down anywhere. The rules aren't written down anywhere. The guy I replaced told them to me. Yeah, told them to me on my first night. He made me repeat them back until I got every word right. Okay, this is low-key kind of sounding like Five Nights at Freddy's, but it's okay. Rule 1: do not go onto the main floor after 2 a.m. Rule 2: if you hear the conveyor belt, count your steps. Keep counting until it stops. Rule 3: do not look this young guy, quiet, didn't ask many questions. I told him the rules on his first night. He rolled his eyes. Sure, he said. Anything else? No. He looked at me and asks, you believe this stuff? I believe you should follow it. That was the end of the conversation. The first week went smoothly. We split the grounds between us. He took the west side, I took the east. Every night before we separated, I'd remind him, don't go onto the main floor after 2 a.m. Every night he'd wave me off. Yeah. On the eighth night, my watch stopped. I didn't notice until I checked the clock inside the hut. My watch read 1:47. The wall clock read 2:14. I radioed Ellis. No answer. I tried again. Nothing. The west gate was empty. Gate, not gay, was empty. The main floor entrance wasn't. The chain was lying on the ground. The padlock open. I broke rule 1. I told myself I was only going in long enough to drag him back out. The factory floor stretched into darkness. Moonlight spilled through the high windows. The conveyor belt was moving. There was no sound, no motors, no grinding gears, but I could feel it through my boots. A slow vibration beneath the concrete, like a heartbeat. Ellis stood at the far end of the belt facing the wall. His shoulders shook. I shouted his name. He turned his face, looked normal. His shadow didn't. It had 2 heads. I looked down. My own shadow was gone. For a second I couldn't move. Then I grabbed Ellis and ran. I counted every step. 31, 32. The vibration followed us. 33, 34, 35, 36, 37. The conveyor belt stopped. The silence hit so hard it felt physical. I slammed the door behind us and locked it. Ellis didn't say a word for the rest of the shift. The next night, he remembered none of it. Not the belt, not the factory floor, not me dragging him outside, but something had changed. His shadow lagged behind him. Only half a second at most. Enough to notice. Not enough to explain. I started noticing other things. The air in the hut tasted different after midnight, metallic, like old coins. The lights flickered sometimes, but only in my peripheral vision. When I looked directly at them, they were always steady. The floor of the west gate room was always warm. Even in winter, no heat source, just warm. After that, the nights stopped behaving properly. Patrols that should take 20 minutes took 3 hours. The clocks never agreed. My phone showed different dates depending on which room I checked it in. Sometimes the sun rose too early. Sometimes it didn't rise at all. The sky would just go from black to gray and stay there. One night, Ellis went to check the west gate alone and was gone 5 minutes by his watch, 7 hours by mine. Why are you there over 7 hours? When he came back, he was crying. He said he had walked the same hallway over and over. Every door led back to the same door. The only way out was to count his steps backward. He wouldn't tell me what was in the hallway. He just kept saying, I don't know, over and over. I stopped sleeping, not because I wasn't tired, because every time I closed my eyes, I dreamed about the conveyor belt. In the dream, it was silent, but I could feel it, and my feet were already counting. After that, the conveyor belt started moving more often. Sometimes we'd hear it while standing outside. Sometimes we'd hear it inside the never approached the main floor, never missed a count. But his shadow kept growing. Every week it stretched farther. No matter where he stood, it pointed toward the main floor. I stopped looking at my own shadow. I don't know what it's doing anymore. I tried leaving. I took the company truck and drove down the access road. The road bent left, then left again, then left a third time. I passed the same rusted sign 3 times. I stopped the truck, turned around. The sign was still there, but the words weren't. Welcome back. The letters looked wet. I drove back. I haven't tried leaving since. Oh, so they're there like 24/7. Damn. Now I'm sitting in the security hut writing this. Alice sits across from me. The wall clock says 1:47. It has said 1:47 for 3 days. Neither of us mentions it. We just repeat the rules over and over. Our voices are hoarse. I can't remember the last time we drank anything. A few hours ago, a truck came down the access road. A young guy stepped out. Clipboard, badge, company uniform. He asked if this was the factory. Alice looked at me, then back at him. Yeah, he said, you need to listen to the rules. The man smiled. I wrote the rules. That's evil. Don't tell me that, please. Okay, let's continue. Then he walked past us toward the main floor. The conveyor belt started moving. I felt it through the floor of the hut. Alice's shadow stretched across the room past the door, past the wall, out of sight. The man never looked back. The conveyor belt stopped. The clock still said 1:47. Alice turned toward me. His face was calm. Too calm. That's the 4th one, he said. The first three were me. What? That's the 4th one, he said. The first 3 were me. What's the 4th one? Oh, I don't get it. I'm so sorry. Then he walked walked after the man. The door shut behind them. The padlock clicked closed on its own. The chain twisted itself into a knot. I've been trying to undo it ever since. My fingers are bleeding. The knot doesn't change. I'm alone now. The rules are written on the wall. I don't remember writing them, but the handwriting is mine. There are 4 rules. I swear there used to be 3. Rule 1, it's forbidden to go to the main floor after 2 a.m. Rule 2. Oh my god, rule 2. If the conveyor belt is heard, count steps. Rule 3. It is forbidden to look at the second shadow. Rule 4. When the next one comes, do not speak. You are the new guy now. I just heard the truck engine start outside, then stop, then start again, then stop. Footsteps on the gravel. Someone is coming up the path. Oh, he wasn't supposed to talk to the guy. Damn, 3 days. I hope you're getting paid overtime. I was thinking about that. OP says, at that point I wasn't working the shift was working me. That's funny. Okay, OP is funny. The shift was working me. Okay, well that was 4th rule. The 4th rule, and I liked it. It was slightly confusing. Pretty good, pretty great. Okay, wait a second. Let's continue with... Wait, what was it? This the last one. I went on a holiday to a village where a massacre happened. Since then, I fear 3:33, like 3 a.m., 3:33 a.m. Why does it not? It's not. Since then, I fear 3:33 a.m. I went to a village near Frigiliana in Malaga, Spain, called El Espucal. I don't know. In 2020, something happened there I still think about. Quick history first, because it matters. During the Spanish Civil War, El Espucal, I don't know how to say the name, but you're gonna have to listen to me butcher it, was a Maquis stronghold. Anti-Franco guerrilla fighters, hiding in the mountains. Franco's troops eventually wiped out the entire population and destroyed the village completely. It sat in ruins for decades. Then, in the 1970s, Franco's own rural resettlement program rebuilt it from scratch, like a lot of rural Spanish villages, though it slowly emptied out again over the following decades. I was 10 when we went. The heat was brutal, and from the second we arrived, it felt off. There was no phone signal anywhere, not even spotty, just nothing. As far as we could tell, the entire population of the village was 2 people. A woman who ran the guest house and a relative who ran the only restaurant. The restaurant owner never said a single word the whole time we were there. He had some kind of severe facial disfigurement that looked congenital. I don't know. And he'd just silently bring food out and disappear. His relative did all the talking. On every street corner there were tall statues of the Virgin Mary, plus 3 small handmade figurines tucked into windowsills and wedged into walls all over the village. As a kid, I just figured it was typical old village decoration. Shit. I'm sorry for that. I'm sorry I punched the mic with my phone. Okay, we were there 3 days or 4 days. 3 or 4 days. One afternoon, we went hiking in the woods and found a building that looked like some kind of small electrical substation. It was completely spotless, no dust, nothing, while everything else around it was dry and decayed. Inside, it was totally empty and abandoned. No equipment, nothing running. Someone was maintaining a clean, empty building in the woods near a village with no signal and 2 residents. That night was our last night. There was a pool with a jacuzzi at the guest house. My dad and one of his friends, both well over 6 feet tall, were sitting now there drinking, planning to get in the jacuzzi later. I was just sitting nearby, half asleep. At exactly 3:33 a.m., we started hearing heavy footsteps in the woods right behind the pool on the hillside. It wasn't an animal. I grew up around those mountains, and I know what wildlife sounds like. Moving through brush, I don't know what it's supposed to say. Anyways, this was slow, heavy, even 2 feet, one after another, like someone walking calmly toward us with no rush at all. I said, "Papa, por favor, vámonos." I think, "Papa, please, let's go." My dad and his friend were a few drinks in and brushed it off, figured I was just spooked, but the footsteps kept getting closer, never, never speeding up, which somehow made it worse. Eventually, even my dad and his friend went quiet, and we all got up and went inside fast. The second we reached the door knocker started slamming on its own. 4 hard bangs, nobody touching it. My mom opened the door from inside. At almost the same second, already saying she'd heard people walking around outside and had to come check. We looked at the oven clock, 3:33 a.m. The same second my mom said that, wind started blowing through the house, not from any open window or door, just from inside. None of us slept. The whole rest of the night there were noises through the house, knocking, what sounded like footsteps, on the floor above us in a single-story building. Nobody investigated. We just sat together until it got light, then packed up and left first thing without saying goodbye to anyone. I still don't have an explanation. The timing, the maintained empty building with no signal anywhere near it, the 2 people running the whole village, related to each other with one of them never speaking, the figures on every corner, and 333 specifically. We all remember it the same way. I've never wanted to go back. OP comments. Small Small correction. It wasn't on 2020. It was summer 2017. But yeah, feel free to ask. English isn't my first language, so if anything is unclear, just tell me. I can notice that English isn't the first language. Oh my god, because it's the way it's written, and also the Papa, por favor, vámonos, which is an insane thing to only have in Spanish. I think it's Spanish, yes. I think it's crazy to only have that in Spanish and nothing else. Why could you not translate that? I don't know. But anyways, yeah, so this guy seen some creepy shit, or experienced some creepy shit, but anyways, I hope you guys have a good night, good day, good evening, good anything. I hope this was relaxing, or interesting, or both. Thank you for watching.